In this video, we're going to talk about spread operator. So spread operator was introduced in ES6 and the operator shape is three consecutive dots as written as triple dot, and the spread operators behave differently in different use case. So we'll cover the four common use case that you're going to face in the real time. So first use case is expanding a string. If you have a string you want to convert into a character of array, you can do that with a spread operator. If you want to combine an array, or like you want to add a value to an array, you can achieve that using spread operator. You can combine an object, or you can combine a value to an object using spread operator. You can create a new shallow copy of array and objects as well. So let's go to our VS Code and see this in practical. To understand the spread operator, we need to understand the objects and arrays very well. So first we'll understand array, and we know how to create an array. So I'm creating an array AAR, an array start and end with a square bracket. In array you can add the data like data 1, or I can say A, B, C. It's a collection of data. So we are adding the data A, B and C, and now if I print one of the most important data structure of JavaScript, so it's printing the array of data. So now we need to understand how we can extract the value from the array. And to extract the value, you need to remember array index starts from 0. This is the very important point. It means if I want the fetch the value of first index, that is the index 0, so I need to write console.log array of 0, and it immediately prints A. And if you want to see the value B, you need to give the index 1 because the array index start from 0, right? So this is how you can fetch the value at a particular index level in array. Similarly, to add the value, you have different operation. You can use push. I'll say 3, so it will push the value 3 to an array, and if I print the array again, you will see a value get pushed to the fourth index. That's the 3 index starting from 0. The third index, you can see the value 3 gets pushed. So there are many things. We'll learn more about array methods later on, but this is how you need to remember you can access the value, and the index starts from 0. Second thing, object. Another very important data structure from JavaScript point of view. I'll create an object with a flower bracket. Object always works in the key value pair. So key is like your property, so name is the property and value is Salesforce. Similarly, you can add another property, age colon 23. So this is an object. So object we usually use when we have to assign many property to a similar object, like a similar variable, I would say. Okay, so we have created an object, and to access the value of an object, we'll say obj, and we use dot notation. Name will print the value Salesforce. Similarly, if I change it to age, it will call age. This is the one way of accessing the object value. The another value is the array notation. That is, instead of this, if I pass the property name in the array bracket, so then also it will fetch. If I change it to name, it will fetch Salesforce. And when to use which one? There is a case. Suppose I have a property called full name, and I'll say 0 to 0. So this is my full name. But if I try to access whenever the property has a space in between, I can't access it with the dot notation. Then I have to use the array notation. So array notation has the upper hand in a scenario when you have a space in your property name. So if I type here full name, it will throw an error because full name has the space. So it's a missing argument or something. Okay. So these are the two types. And to add the value to an object, it's very simple. You just whatever the value you want to add, you just say object dot hobbies and assign a value, click it, and you can print the object, and you will see it's printing an object name, age, hobbies get added. So these are the two data types on which we're gonna use a spread operator. Now you know what is array and what is object, like how to create it at least, and one of the core of JavaScript programming. So we'll now talk about first spending of string. So I have a case, I have a variable greeting, and greeting say hello everyone. I want to convert this string into the array of alphabets. One way to do it to use some methods given by the strings. The other way is the spread operator. That's the easiest way. I'll say char list, so it's a character list, and to do that I'll say I want in the form of array, so array bracket. I want to spread this, use triple dot, that is the syntax for the spread operator, and define your variable name. And let's print what's coming in our console. You can see the characters are printing in the form of array. All characters are individually at different index. So if I want to fetch a particular index at 0 level, it will print H. At 10th level, it will print Y. So likewise, you can spread these strings. Okay. Now the next operation that you can achieve with spread operator is combining array. One of the powerful feature I very commonly used in LWC. So let's say I have an array 1 that says Amazon and Google. I have array 2 and that says Facebook and Instagram. Now you want another array that is the combination of array 1 and array 2, and here you can use spread operator again. So the new variable I create array 3, I'll say spread array 1 comma spread array 2, and once it gets spread, it just fit in the array bracket, so it will result the combination of these two array. We will say console.log array 3. So now you can see the combination of array 1 and array 2 is coming in the array 3. It's very simple. You don't need to remember any particular method, whether it's a concat method or any other approach. So this is the very easiest approach. So let's go to the third operation that you can do with the, we'll see first, we can come add the values as well. We'll say adding values to an array. So now I'll take another array. Suppose let array 4 equal to A, B, C. I have an array. I want to add another value that is Nikhil. I want to add Nikhil to this array. To do that, I can simply say array 4, or I'll take another array like array 5, spread array 4, and add a value Nikhil to it. So now if I print array 5, it will have the value Nikhil in it. So simply if you add in the front or the back, it will automatically gets added up. Okay, so now it's added in the front. So this is how you can adding the value to an array. Let's go to the another approach, that is combining objects. And I'll say obj1 object we know how to create. I'll say name Salesforce and age 23. So the key should not always be in the double quotes, it can be without quotes as well. So it doesn't matter whether you are giving the quotes or not, but value, if it is a string, it always should be in the quote. So I created a object 1 with the Salesforce and age. I'll create another variable or another object obj2 that also contain name, and I'll say Facebook, and I'll say age 55. Now I want to combine these two objects into a single object. How it gonna work? Let's see. So I'll say let object 3 equal to spread obj1 and then spread obj2. The difference here is I am using an object bracket this time to spread it. So now console this obj3. Now you'll see the interesting fact here is it's only printing the second object. Okay, to make it more interesting, I'll come back to this white printing. I'll add another property called date. We'll say 23/10/1990. And now while spreading this, you see it's taking the age and date of the second object, but age and name of the second object, but the date of the first object. So while spreading, always remember, if some properties are available on the left hand side spread operator or the operator that you are using, the right side values get override the left side values. So here name was in the left side in obj1 as well as in the obj2. So obj2 value has the more preference, so it override the value of obj1. That's why it's printing Facebook. Now it come to age. Age is also available in the both, so obj2 age will come. Now it comes to date. Date is only in the obj1, so it's printing the date only. If I add some other property called next something, some property next hello, some property I'm randomly adding. So now you see all the properties that are unique, that will definitely gets added up, but only the property that has the same property name like age, name, it gets override from the right side object and it's generate a new object. So this is all about combining an object. Let's go to the most interesting part of the spread operator, the shallow copy. First, I'll tell you the problem with the traditional method and many people currently using without knowing problem with those methods. So let's say I have an array values where a are equal to x, then I have y, then I have z. Okay, and I'll use instead of array, I'll give some other array 10. Okay, I have a variable that has three values x, y, z, and now if I want to add something, earlier in JavaScript we used to write dot push 20, and if I say console.log array 10, it's printing x, y, z 20. That's working perfectly fine. Now I'll take a copy of array 10. I'll say variable array 11 is a copy of array 10. So whatever is inside the array 10, I'm pushing into array 11. And now I'll say array 11 dot push nikhil. Okay. And what I'm gonna do, I'll print array 10 and I'll print array 11. Now the problem is the objects and array in JavaScript work as a reference. So when we copy the array here at line 32, it's copy the reference as well. So when I update a value in the array 11, it automatically updates the value in array 10. That's why in array 10, it's printing nikhil, and in array 11 as well, it's nikhil. So that's the problem with the push method. So never use push operator or the pop operator, shift operator. So I'll show you how we can avoid this. Okay. So to avoid this, we're gonna use the spread operator. So what we're gonna do, we'll say where arr 11. I'll take a copy. To take a copy, just use spread operator AR 10. So it generates a shallow copy. So shallow copy usually breaks the reference. And now if I say arr 11 dot push nikhil, right now I'm writing push to just to show you like how it's creating the copy. Console dot log AR 10 and AR 11. Now you see in the 10 we are having only XYZ, and at 11 we are adding nikhil. So this is how you do the shallow copy using spread operator. But I'll go to the next topic, that is nested copy. Okay, here the spread operator fails. So nested copy means I have an array of obj. So now we are going to the complicated data structure. I have array with an object. So name nikhil, then another name Salesforce. So I have array of objects. So I have one array that has two objects. Now if I want to create a copy of this arr obj1, and I'll say spread this arr obj, and I'll print this console.log arr obj1. On the right side it's printing perfectly fine. Right, now let's update the value of obj1. arr obj1 0, that is the first object, dot name, and I'm changing this to Superman, and I'll print the obj1 again. And if I open the obj1, it's printing Superman instead of nikhil. Let's print the obj arr obj, and now that value get updated because this is a two-level data structure. Shallow copy only works at one level, either it's an array or an object. But as you go to the two level, one is array, and within the array there is an object. There we avoid the spread operator because it not do the nested copy. To do the nested copy, there is a hack, nested copy, and to do that you can just simply say, I'll just comment this out, just simply say json.string. If I convert your object into the stringify format first. So json.stringify is the method. We'll see in the later video as well. json.stringify arr obj. It gets converted into string and then convert again into an object using json.parse. And now if you print this again below this, so now I'm updating my obj1 and printing obj and all. So the actual obj, that is array of object, still has Nikhil, but if I see the updated one, it has the Superman. So this is how our spread operator works, and different types of use cases in the spread operator, and in our real-time projects we heavily gonna use this. So this is all about the spread operator from JavaScript as well as from LWC point of view. And now we're gonna learn in the next video the destructuring. I'll see you in the next video.